United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, we had musical accompaniment.
First order of business is to reopen our public hearing from last month on local law number 4. Martha?
Local law number 4 of the year 2019, a local law amending the zoning law of the town of Cohocton, New York, and local law number 2 of 2006 to regulate windmill and windmill facilities.
You want your list of speakers?
Yeah, I better put that over here. Thank you.
Yeah, a point of order, it should be announced that anyone wishing to speak should be signed in, so that they have a right to speak.
If anyone wishes to speak at the public hearing, can I just have you sign in on my paper for the minutes?
I actually, I signed that because I want to talk about something else I misunderstood, I guess.
Okay.
I'm on another agenda item that I
Okay.
wanted to speak about.
That's okay. Is there anybody else that wanted to speak regarding wind? You could just sign in there. Thank you.
You can call first name if you want to speak.
Jack Ziegenfuss, you can go ahead.
Well, my first question is, could we announce if there's people here that represent a particular entity, like a wind farm or some particular, so that we know who's who here? Because I don't think many of us know who's representing who here.
Okay. Chip, you want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, happy to. So my name's Chip Redling, associated with the Barren Winds project.
And I'm Justin Lotak, also with the Barren Winds project.
Excuse me, your name again?
Justin Lotak,
Did you spell that?
Lotak.
That's it?
Chip and Justin, you're both from Barron.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just to announce myself to the supervisor and to the board, my name is Jim Moscato, and I'm here as permanent counsel for Energy.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry, I was speaking to the board.
Okay, good for you, but I asked the question.
Well, with all due respect, Mr. Supervisor, if you'd like me to respond, I will, but as I
You
understand.
can respond to him so you can get your name.
So, with respect to it, my name is Jim Moscato, and I'm representing Barren Winds. I'm permanent counsel for the company.
Permanent counsel?
Permitting, Permitting,
Permitting, I get it. Thank you.
Anything else, Jack?
Well, is this my opportunity to speak on everything?
At the public hearing for the local law.
Go for it.
Okay. First of all, either you or town council, could you recite the actual local law number 4 of 2019 to the public?
Martha?
And the remainder of what I just read? Just
You gotta read the whole law is what he's requesting.
Section 1, local law number 4 of the year 2019 is hereby entitled Amendment to Local Law Governing Windmills and Windmill Facilities, and is intended to amend the zoning law of the town of Cohocton, New York, and local law number 2 of 2006 to regulate windmills and windmill facilities. Section 2, purpose and authority. The town board of the town of Cohocton hereby adopts this local law to amend certain sections of existing local laws pertaining to windmills and windmill facilities in the town. The town board finds that taller wind technology is available and proven and will allow wind turbines to capture increased wind speeds at higher heights. The utilization of taller turbine technology will require fewer turbines to collect the same amount of energy, thereby reducing overall potential environmental impacts. In addition, based upon the board's consideration of the permitting process and requirements for wind energy facilities greater than 25 megawatts in size, which must obtain a certificate of environmental compatibility and public need from the New York State Board on Electric Generation Siting and the environment under Article 10 of the New York Public Service Law. The town board finds that given the extensive environmental, public health, and safety review required of such projects by multiple stakeholders throughout the Article 10 permitting process, including changes made post-certification, these changes are reasonable to facilitate the development of wind energy facilities and the local benefits derived therefrom, while still providing protection to the town and its residents through the imposition and existing substantive standards and through the option to execute a host community agreement between the town and an applicant to mitigate impacts. The town board of the town of Cohocton enacts this local law under the authority granted by Article 9 of the New York State Constitution and New York State Municipal Home Rule Law, Section 10. Section 3, Article 11, Section 1130-2B of the zoning law of the town of Cohocton is hereby amended as follows. Specifications: maximum height limit. Maximum height limit shall be no greater than 650 feet. Section 4, severability. Should any provisions of this local law be declared by the courts to be unconstitutional or invalid, such decision shall not affect the validity of this local law as a whole or any part thereof other than the part so decided to be unconstitutional or invalid. The local law shall be effective upon its filing with the Secretary of State in accordance with the Municipal Home Rule Law. That was the local law in its entirety.
Okay, with that said, a couple of questions linked here. The original mapping was updated, I believe. And so with the updated mapping that was received on October 1st, 2019, it was to give interested residents the opportunity to review the updated information. With that said, my question would be, like, how many people in the town of Cohocton that these windmills, 650 whatever feet, were notified or were even made aware of the fact that this updated information was on file? And even better than that, how many board members in front of me actually reviewed the updated documents that were presented to the town of Cohocton?
I can only speak for myself. I did.
You did?
I certainly looked at some.
You all looked at them? And they were where?
They're on the map. I'm not gonna try and attempt to describe every site that's out there, Jack. I would like to hear you describe every site that's out there.
You see that book over there on the town clerk's desk?
Yep.
Are you telling me that every board member here, I know one board member that has.
I could only speak for myself.
I'm just asking. There's a bunch of documents there that have been updated. And the question, not only how many of the board members have reviewed them, but if and when did the town tell the residents that those documents, updated documents, mind you, were available for those? Because in the letter, it says, interested residents may want to review the updated information to see if their property is affected. If you didn't know that that was available, then you would have no idea that those documents sitting on that desk were available for review. How would anybody know that?
I don't believe those documents sitting there refer to the 650 feet, am I correct? Those documents represent your proposal.
Who are you asking?
I'm telling, I'm not asking, I'm telling.
You asked somebody.
Those documents there represent what the siting board has given back to the town on the original application. Am I correct? I'm asking Barron.
We're gonna take a look at it.
You're asking the wind company?
Because the documents that go to the 650 are the seeker, correct?
No, the EIS.
And the
Environmental
environmental impact statement. And I'll tell you, I just received those this week. The seeker today. The planning board had them last week. You got them for the first time, correct?
Oh, 3 weeks, I think
Okay.
3 weeks back, Tom sent them to me.
So that's where that's what I know, Jack.
Can I
So-
clarify some,
Yep.
so, as we said in the introductions, we were from Barron Winds. The document over there, I'm not familiar with that document, that's not a Barron Winds document. It looks to me as if there's another wind facility in town called Cohocton.
This is the Cohocton wind binder.
Okay.
So that looks like, to me, it's the supplemental environmental impact assessment for the Cohocton project and any changes that may be going on with
But
respect
the
to that
rest is out
project.
here, right, Martha?
And
There
there's-
is documents
Right.
available in the lobby.
Right.
I might have just grabbed the wrong binder.
You got the wrong one.
So that's what, that's what
Okay.
that is.
So you do have binders just like that, 2 of them, I do believe,
In the lobby.
out in the lobby that have been there a long time.
A long time?
A long time.
And
But
so,
we've
and so
been
those
notified
binders
that
would be
they're
Barron
there?
Winds binders
Right.
that would be related to the state siting review process that was conducted for 3.5, 4 years.
And you had to notify all the landowners and all adjacent landowners that those things were here, correct?
Correct. I mean, there was a
Okay.
public outreach process that took place for a long period of time.
Okay.
Now, of course, with respect to a local law, which is really what's at issue here, the town also has obligations, which I'm sure the town attorneys have talked about, and I'm sure you followed all of the appropriate notification process for a
Which is
town
the
law,
legal paper.
which is your legal paper. And so, with respect to just the law, which is the public hearings on the law, that's the obligation for the town board.
That's been done.
And
2
that's
months
been
in a
done,
row.
correct.
Does that help you?
No, so the planning board, so in understanding the planning board, that they do not agree possibly with,
They made a recommendation.
they made a recommendation to the town board,
Yes.
and what was their recommendation?
Well, Russ, you can respond to that.
Here's the original handwritten version. We as a board believe that additional environmental studies should be performed to support the resolution approving seeker negative declaration. So we think some more work's needed.
Does that answer your question?
So the planning board made a recommendation to the town board that they do not agree that this should be approved? Is that my understanding?
They made the recommendation that they think that there needs to be more study for a seeker.
More study.
For a
Okay.
seeker.
So in the local law, which you're proposing, it says, and I quote, "The town board finds that the taller and wind turbines technology is available and proven and will allow for wind turbines to capture increased speed at heights and utilization of taller wind turbines technology," and it goes on and on and on. But to date, from my kind of cursory investigation, there is not a single turbine site in the state of New York that permits 600+ feet wind turbines. Now, I am not against wind turbines. Obviously, I was one of the persons instrumental in getting wind turbines in this town. But my concern is that if you do it, that you do it in a proper procedure. Everything that we did in 2006 was in accordance back, obviously before Article 10, in which the planning board made and determined the height, distance, noise, etc. in the town for its windmill. So therefore, upon the recommendation of the planning board to the town board, and after a public hearing, it was then approved. It almost seems like in this particular case, the cart is before the horse. And it's possible that this particular regulation, local law, etc., could possibly be in jeopardy only because of the procedural aspects that it was followed. So I just find it a little unusual that it almost seems like the board is being guided by the company versus the planning board guiding the town board. With that,
Is that it?
I'm sure you want that, I'm sure you want that to be it.
No, I'm just asking.
So I was
you.
glad to come back from Florida to be here.
So, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Have you been through an Article 10?
I have been through a lot of articles.
Have you been through an Article 10?
There was an Article
having
10
to do
back,
with the windmill?
there was not an Article 10 when
Okay.
we had
You
that.
understand that under the Article 10, are there any seeker-type restrictions or requirements to be done that the state of New York is acting as lead agency for that?
But you're doing a law, and that's what your seeker is for, the law, not the project. You have to do a seeker on the law, that's
No,
what,
we have to do an environmental impact statement.
well, that's called the seeker.
There's two different things, but in any event, you asked
Mr.
a
Johnson.
question about whether there's, the proven technology or anything, but here's my town topics.
Town
Association of Towns of the State of New York. This is the September-October issue. And right in here, they talk about modern industrial wind turbines can be more than 650 feet tall. And it all has to do with having, setting up programs with large-scale renewable energy projects. So this has been through, and is in fact impacting a number of towns. There was just another wind farm approved down south of us, 27 turbines, and I believe their height is like 670 feet. The request for a seeker or seeker-type application, any of those requirements that are similar to that, which is included in the Article 10, have already been done by Barron for the existing law. At this point in time, they wouldn't be required to do another one because nothing has changed with the existing law. If in fact the town board passes an amendment to the law to raise it to 650 feet, Barron, analogy, will have to amend their application to through Article 10 to the citing committee and everything. And at that point in time, if they are required to do another EIS or a seeker, the state will require it. Because, again, they're the ones that act as the lead agency on that.
So hence my original thing, you're putting the cart before the horse. Like, we're
No,
gonna
we're
prove
not.
this.
You're trying to put the
Before we go
cart
to the
before
citing
the horse.
committee, we're going to pass this and then hope that the state citing committee approves it? Is that the case?
No, if in fact, analogy determines that they want to go to a higher turbine, they're going to have